upright. We're going to take the ball now. So lay on your belly, and you might, if you have a couple ball options, bring them all, and you can just explore and experiment with what is feeling good to you. So the ball's gonna go, you're gonna lay on your belly. You're trying to get the ball kind of right here in your hip flexor. You might play with coming up the hip bone a little bit, and then we're gonna kind of work our way down, play with a little movement side to side, and eventually coming to the top of the knee. So just kind of plunk the ball in your hip, somewhere along that hip bone. And then it's going to just, it's very personal, and you're experimenting. If you feel like any tingling, that you want to back off that. You don't want to feel any tingling or like numbness. So you would want to back off that and either move up or down from that spot. So a couple ways to play here. Sometimes I like to take the other knee wide and do a little half frog. So usually the first breath, you're just kind of landing there. Give your body a moment to be like, okay, I'm about to work this, because initially there's usually some resistance. So a little squeeze, a contract and release can kind of help soften. So you squeeze the muscles, then try to soften over the ball, soften over the ball. And that can kind of speed up the relaxing. But it does usually take at least a minute for your nervous system to be ready. And then it's just like an army crawl. So you can have your arms under your chest. You can just lay with a pillow, but you're just slowly kind of rocking side to side. Maybe roll more onto the outer hip. There's some really good spots in here. So if you find a spot that's feeling good, stay there. Feel free to stay, breathe. It's also okay to come up a little higher of the pelvis. Like I like to come right up on the rim of the pelvis and lean, really trying to get deep into that. I think it's the psoas. For me, that gets very tight. So when you're using the ball, you're in charge of the pressure. You can roll, you can pin. Pinning it is holding the ball there. You can play with moving yourself around the ball or play with moving the ball. And another thing I like to do is pause. You kind of get heavy on the ball and then use your breath to go deeper. So you pause and then take a big inhale, and that pushes into the ball, and that can work a little deeper. Okay, so we're starting to slowly make your way down the thigh, but take your time, kind of crawl a few inches, pause, maybe go a little right, a little left. And it could be like a hip sway, or I'm moving my leg a little right, a little left, then go another couple inches down. Keep going. You can play with kind of going way up and down that thigh muscle. And you can just lay and just move the ball an inch or two every couple breaths. When you get to about the middle of that quad muscle, you can play with moving the knee joint. So you bend the knee and roll a little right, a little left there. And you can really try to do like an internal rotation and then just let the ball roll as you do a big external rotation. It'll go more onto the inner thigh, which is pretty tender. Then scooch it down again, another inch. Same thing. It'll roll to the inner thigh. And then try to do an internal rotation. Get a little more on the outer. Then try to get kind of right above the knee, which for me gets really tight. But this work that we're doing can really help the knees feel good. So you're trying to lubricate the fascia all around the quad and the knee. So do try to kind of go around that knee bone. And you could also play with a little bend and straight, really at any point. It's not quite as intense here, a little more intense in that, basically the meaty part of that thigh bone, the quad muscle. Okay, so kind of wrap it up a little bit on that side. Woo! And then get ready to go the other way.